All right, oil is changed. Oil pan is sealed. That is done. So now we can move on to plan Z. What are we on now? I don't even remember. But what I do remember is AI thinks this won't work. It says this is a bad idea. That hasn't stopped me before, so we're gonna try it anyway. So what I went and did is purchase a very cheap regulator that's supposed to be able to go from 0 to 5 PSI. This guy right here. So we will see. Ooh, it's got the numbers on it and everything. Currently set to 3. We are gonna set it at 0 to start to see if we can get some PSIs through the other regulator. And if we can, we'll move it up to number 1. I think if we can even restrict it to 1 PSI, and that translates to any PSIs still going to the carbs, we might have a win there, at least in the short term. And if not, it was a fun experiment, and we'll see if AI was right or not. So, all right, let me get all these fittings dialed in because I know right where I'm going to put it, and I'll be back in just a second. For simplicity, I'm going to try to put it right there initially. It's the least work I need to do. Bam! It's installed and currently set at the lowest possible setting, which should be the highest possible restriction. I think we're due for a win. I mean, I know that's not accurate. Bam! It's installed and currently it's set to the lowest possible setting, which means it should be at the highest possible restriction. Let's see if it works. I'm really kind of hoping for a win here. I feel like we're due for a win. I realize it's not actually how it works, you know, but I'm just saying it'd be nice to see some PSIs right now. All right, here we go. Let's check for leaks first. Seems to be holding and it's vibrating. Moment of truth. Nothing. Maybe it needs to build. Let's let it build. Let's say it needs to build. All right, well, let me see if I hear anything in the tank. So I do hear stuff still draining into the tank, so I'm going to try to dial that down another even lower if I can. You're not going to believe it. We got PSI. Check this out. And I can still hear it leaking into the tank. So that means there is some pressure being adjusted there. Let me show you what I did, because this thing came with this little Allen wrench. So I just started tightening this thing up, and that actually gave me some PSIs. So I'm gonna, let's see if I increase it, if I get more. I think I did. This is exciting. This is very exciting. All right, I'm gonna mess with this just a little bit more and see if I can't get this back down on its own tires so we can roll it out, get this thing started. Let's do a real test. because I think we're to a point where we might actually be able to do a test. This is huge. All right, psyched. All right, we're about to start this car. I don't know if this is a long-term fix or not, but if we can at least get it to maintain for a few weeks, that sure would be nice. All right, let's try it. Well, it's been over an hour and it's still running, so we're already winning. Let's see how big of a win we get. Well, I'll be. It's stabilized at 2 and it's already been running for an hour. That's great news. We might have a win here. So I think we're going to do the right thing. And we're going to take it on a test drive right now. Let's just push this thing to the limit and see where it goes. Let's do it. back to zeros. Shoot, may have to get underneath, see if I can make adjustment to our restriction. What the hell? Well, I got a little more out of it. Let's see if we can get it home. Dang it. We made it home. And it's even still running. So it officially hasn't stranded us. Though my confidence level is pretty low. Yep, about as low as my fuel pressure. So the struggle continues. To be honest, I'm over it. I need a break because my Fury's down. While we've been messing around with this Corvair for the last month, my Fury's been patiently waiting over there. And I know I can fix that, where this could be a mystery forever. We don't even know. So I think I'm just gonna put this away for now and move on, because I like driving these things and I haven't been able to for a while now, and I gotta fix that. That's the problem I'm really trying to fix. We'll come back to this. We'll do some more experiments, but it may be I actually need one of those fancy bypass regulators. Oi! I got updates. Haven't given up yet. So it's been a few days, and I called Craig over at Racers. And really, I just wanted to tell him, hey, it's not your pump. I think your pump is working fine. I think the issue I'm trying to resolve here is a vapor lock problem. And I'm trying to resolve it by adding a return line, you know. And then I made the mistake, you know, and I said, you know, I don't think Corvair's had vapor lock issues, and so didn't have return lines, etc. And he says, well, you know, the turbos had return lines, and lo and behold, if you look it up in Clark's, it's true. There's an actual filter with a return for a Corvair right there in the catalog. Anyway, that's one option. Another option is, it turns out that 67, 68, I can't remember, 68, 69, something like that, they also had return lines, like almost exactly what I'm trying to do. And the little part is just a 4-way brass fitting. And it's just like mine here, you know, in the catalog. It was just a 4-way brass fitting, except instead of a gauge, it had a 1/8 line coming out and then going all the way back to the tank, which this is basically that line. So we're really close to an actual stock setup, with the exception of there's a regulator in the path. And after thinking about that for a while, that makes sense, because that regulator is, even if I have it like wide open, it still has a spring in it. It's still providing some resistance. And if it's basically deadheading into the regulator, then all that excess is going into the return line at that point. Whereas the stock version didn't have that regulator, so it's ultimately deadheading into the carbs themselves, and then any extra is going in the return line. I think I said all that right. Anyway, so now I am motivated once again to remove this, and let's try this new setup where basically I have this stuff is just going to go into here. I'm going to leave this alone because I kind of like how this looks in this whole setup. let's see if we can just do everything right here. So if I delete this guy, I have the input coming into here, and then any extra just jumping up and going back right there. Let's see if that's enough to get us the PSIs we want and just deadhead it directly into the carbs. All right, that's the new plan in a nutshell. Let's make it happen. Alright, it's done. It's installed. And I've got bad news and I've got, well, more bad news. Let me show you. Testing for leaks. Went ahead and turned it on. We don't have any leaks, so that's good. But we also don't have any PSI. So the setup here, it's just flowing in and then going right back out. I feel like we've done this before. But the other bad news is, well, fixing this section here, getting this reconnected, I noticed that there's some leakage down here. I guess the good news is that my pan is not leaking. That's holding tight. This is coming from my main seal. So that is a bummer. We've had that issue before, and when I rebuilt it last year, I pulled the whole thing out twice trying to get that resolved, and apparently it's still leaking. So that is a bummer, but the pan itself is doing well. So anyway, that's our status. Total failure. Oi. So, I don't know. I'm thinking that the stock setup came from right here, but I can't imagine that if I move that line to over here that it's really going to make that much difference. So, just for now, because I have, I'm tired of working on this, and this was kind of a last-ditch effort, I'm thinking about doing something we kind of talked about earlier just to see if we could make it happen. Let's crimp this return line until we get some PSIs. At the very least, it sounds fun. And I think we can actually get some PSIs out of it, and that'll let me move this car out of here because I'm seriously over it this time. Anyway, let's give it a shot. All right, here we go. You guys watch the PSIs. We'll do a quarter turn. All right, that is basically the size. Oh, can you turn it on? All right, it's on. This doesn't move. Okay, quarter turn. Okay, nope. There's no way. Oh, it finally started to move. Let me see if I still hear anything. Am I being greedy right now? We've got 2. Okay, I did not let it crimp all the way that time. So it's not leaking, and I've got 2.5 psi just by crimping this line. That's cheating, but let's see what happens. Let's see. Went for it. We got 2.5 psi. Let's see if it holds. "15 minutes and holding." Good sign so far. It's still holding, but it's been a little over half an hour, maybe 40 minutes, but I'm bored, so let's go for a drive. It's pretty early in the morning, the sun's just coming up, so it's still nice and cool. Yeah, let's go for a drive. Stop after a short drive. It's not looking good. Check it out. So yeah, it's doesn't look like it's maintaining, so I'm gonna try to get this thing back home. Dang it. Well, we made it home. I just wish I could get some consistency. I have no confidence in this car right now. It makes me sad. If you got ideas, I'm down to hear it. But at this point, I think I'm going to put it away. Because, I don't know, I thought we had it with the crimped line, but I mean, it's just not consistent. Anyway, I really appreciate everybody's support. Hope you're enjoying my struggle. Please like, comment, subscribe. We'll catch you on the next one.